Mohamed Salah gives FSG £100 million reason to arrange new Liverpool contract. Liverpool have extended a number of key deals, but crucial signature of Mohamed Salah still needs to be obtained. For Liverpool owners Fenway Sports Group, and John W. Henry's friendship with baseball analytics guru Billy Beane. How they might seek to address one issue with their Boston Red Sox is not likely to be applied successfully with the Reds. In baseball, Beane's reputation was born from realizing the value in undervalued players. Replacing expensive and experienced stars with a number of cheaper alternatives to try and bring about the same kind of output. In Moneyball, the 2011 Hollywood movie focused on Beane's pioneering philosophy at the Oakland Athletics. Actor Brad Pitt delivers a line in a marvelous scene where the scouts are all huddled around a table in the bowels of the Oakland Coliseum, where the topic of discussion is how Oakland replaced their star player who had just departed, Jeremy Jambi. "You're still trying to replace Jambi," says Pitt portraying Beane. "I told you we can't do it. Now what we might be able to do is recreate him." And through using data analytics they managed to have a pretty good go at doing that, and so successful was the model that other Major League Baseball teams got wise to it and wanted to bring it in themselves. Among those enamored was Henry, principal owner of the Red Sox. Who tried to hire Beane to spearhead the Boston club into a new direction. Beane declined the offer for personal reasons, but the relationship has remained pretty strong. So much so that Beane was involved in the failed Red Bull Special Purpose Acquisition Company with Red Bird Capital's Jerry Cardinale last year. Red Bull might not have happened, but Red Bird, minus Beane and through private investment, did. Liverpool have adopted a similar data-driven approach aligned with football. And it is that kind of model that enabled them to see the value in players like Gini Wijnaldum and Andrew Robertson. It has been successful. The Oaklanders may have been able to recreate Jambi, but there is no recreating what Mohamed Salah brings to Liverpool. And for that reason the need for FSG to get a new deal tied up is of huge importance for their aspirations. While FSG have not been big spenders in the transfer market in comparison to their rivals, much to the chagrin of some Reds fans. They have invested in the wage bill at Anfield, a wage bill that now sits at £325 million per year, second behind Manchester City. and one that is set to rise even higher when the next set of accounts are published as new deals. New signings and bonus payments for winning the Premier League are all calculated. In recent weeks, the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Alisson Becker have all signed contracts with the Reds. The core of their squad that has delivered so much success in the past 3 years is sticking together. Salah is one that the Reds hope to get done, but one that remains unresolved. The numbers speak for themselves. In 204 games he has netted 126 times and contributed 49 assists. At 29, he remains at his peak and early season signs show that he has no intention of slowing down his output. The £35 million that was paid to AS Roma back in 2017 was an absolute snip. The pandemic has meant that the normal sharks who would have been on the prowl for the likes of Salah haven't the means to pull it off. Notably Barcelona and Real Madrid, and that is something that Liverpool have to take advantage of when it comes to tying him down for the long term. It can't simply be a decision about how his value would diminish in 3 or 4 years' time. It has to be about what he brings to the club in the here and now, and how they very much require his services if they are to achieve in the Premier League and Champions League, and bring in the kind of prize money that they crave and that is needed for reinvestment. Both Transfermarkt and industry analysts KPMG have Salah's market value at around £90 million. But, in reality, if someone were to try and strong-arm the Reds, given that Jack Grealish costs £100 million and Harry Kane is talked about as a £150 million player, Liverpool would want north of £100 million, you would expect. The window will shut soon, and are there the ready-made options, for the kind of money that FSG would be willing to shell out? That could replace what Salah brings and how he operates in that deadly front three attack. Unless you are talking Kylian Mbappé or Erling Haaland, who else is there? Salah's value to Liverpool outstrips his value in the transfer market. And while Liverpool will need to think about what comes next after their aging group start to suffer a decline, there has to be the acknowledgement that the key parts need to be in place in order to facilitate that. The contracts signed so far represent good business. You would be hard-pressed to find too many better in Europe than each of those who have committed to the long term. FSG need Liverpool to be successful despite whatever new cycle may emerge. And for the next 2 or 3 years they very much need Salah in order to make that happen. Especially when they aren't engaging in the market in the same way as the likes of Manchester City, Chelsea and Manchester United.